Then outside of the Philippines, the whole Japanese fleet and the American fleet met and battled it out. I was in that. What our job was is me and my buddy wanted to do something out of high school, wanted to do something, so we went down about 10 days before Pearl Harbor and looked at all of the Marines everywhere, and I could get in everything but the Coast Guard because I had 20/30, and then 10 days later the war broke out, and about 5 to 6 weeks later they called me in and swore me in March the 6th. We were shipped to PONTCHARTRAIN, that's in Louisiana. It was an army camp. We went there for 2 weeks. And on the way, I don't know if you know what a tweed suit is. It's a wool suit. And I wore that down there, and they didn't have no clothes to give me. And I was out marching in the rain, and you know what water does to wool? It was up to here, and I had the pants tied with a rope. And we didn't have, and we trained with wooden guns. They didn't even have us no guns. Well, I went to St. Augustine, Florida, and I went from there, I went to Maine and got on a small boat that they had. He took all the yachts and things from everybody and was using them for, and I went on, this and belonged to the Smith Brothers Cough Drop Company. So I went, and we took it. It cost $60,000 at the time. It was 66 feet 2 inches, so they named it 66002. And then I'd already taken gunner's mate course, so they put me on there in charge of the guns. We patrolled from Nova Scotia all over Greenland, submarines and whatever, in which we didn't have much on there for submarines. 2 depth charges and a 30 caliber machine gun. I went from there to Rockland, Maine, and I took training for my ship in Galveston, Texas, and then I went to New Orleans and got on our ship, and we went to Bermuda for a shakedown, and from there we went back and got all the repairs, and from there we went out through the Panama Canal to the Pacific. We stopped at Bora Bora, that's in the Tahitian island, for fuel and stayed there for about 6 to 8 days. Then we headed off toward New Guinea. There was an invasion of New Guinea, Hollandia. Another island, we went there. Then from there, we went back to New Guinea, and our job then was to take troop ships and all that up to the Philippines for the invasion. We were escorting them up. We had four of the frigates that guarded them. We were the flagship. And we took them to the Philippines, and we went back, and they all gathered around for the invasion of that Leyte. Then after that, went up around the Lingillian Gulf. Then outside of the Philippines, the whole Japanese fleet and American fleet met and battled it out. I was in that. What our job was is go in between the big battle wagons. They couldn't protect themselves from submarines. Of course, I mean, they didn't park next to each other. They was miles away, all of them. And we screened for submarines and stuff there. We was in a typhoon off of the Philippines. And it was so rough that our midship plates buckled, and 3 destroyers sunk. They were riveted, and the rivets popped. We couldn't do nothing out there. The seas were so high we couldn't even get up topside of this washboard. And about 100 foot of an aircraft carrier split off. We went into Leyte, and the bay has an opening there, and they had a Navy destroyer going back and forth, so the subs couldn't get in to attack our ships in the harbor. And the one ship got a bomb on it and killed 25 men. They sent us out. This is one of my lucky times. They sent us out to take their place for 2 weeks. Nothing happened except one time. They have bats out there, foxbacks and mighty wingspan, and at dusk they fly around. So I called General Quarters. I thought it was a plane. So guess what my nickname was for about 6 weeks? Batman. But the captain thought that was wonderful. I called General Quarters. Could have been a plane. Then we went away and took a convoy back to New Guinea, and another destroyer took our place. We got out about 100 miles, and the captain said that destroyer got torpedoed. We was there 2 weeks and nothing happened, and one before us got bombed and the one after us got torpedoed. Our first captain, he was a mental case. Seriously. He decided, he says, we will not run from anyone. We'll go 1,000 miles out of the way to attack them. And I thought, Lord, I hope it ain't a battle wagon. And they finally took him off the ship on account of his mental. He liked me for one reason. We got a mascot, and his words out of his mouth all the time was amazing, it's amazing, this is amazing, and that's amazing. So they run a contest on the name of the mascot, and me and another 3 guys got together and decided, why not call him Amazing? Well, I was in charge of the dog, and reason he was nuts, he had a spot on the ship roped off that the officers could go in, and he'd have a man standing there with a gun guarding them so nobody'd hurt him. We weren't even thinking of that. And he'd let this dog in his stateroom, which nobody could come in there. And he liked that dog. He met me because I took care of it. He liked me, but he was a mental case. In 1946, March the 2nd, 11:02, because I looked up at the clock when it did, and I said, I'm never going to forget this. "4 years of my life was missed, but I didn't hold no regrets. I knew what I was in there for. But it taught me a lot of things. Being that I was young, I mean, you don't know what you're going to do anyway. But how to tolerate with people, tolerate people. I wouldn't trade my experiences for nothing, but I wouldn't do it again. I've been to VFWs and American Legion Post, but there's some young guys. One time I heard a guy say, what they ought to do is go over there and bomb that place. And I got into it with him. I said, did you ever see a bomb hit? Kids laying around? Said, they ought to go over there and bomb that place. Plenty, and I'm scared of it right now, like we're losing it. I really think we're starting to lose it. There's too many people that don't care. You know what it is? They're embedded in their worries, and they're making money, and they're forgetting about voting. They don't get out and vote. I'm an independent. I feel more American than the ones that stick to one party line and vote, vote, vote. I vote for the man. And who I think is right, I figure. I don't care about if he's Republican or Democrat.